Yo, yo, yo! What's up, everybody? It's Team Herma Style. We're back with another deck profile with Matthew Sublett. Matt, how'd you do today?
I won another in-person regional.
Man, that sucks, huh? We want to tell us how you did it and what'd you play?
I played U7.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, you want to
Yellow
do this deck
U7.
profile? Let's see what we got.
Absolutely. Yep. So, all the nice winnings.
Eat it, nerds.
So we've got the good old leader. Still does the same things. I'm going to mostly focus this deck profile on the differences between the Texas regional one and the where are we? Peoria.
We're in
the
Peoria, Illinois.
We are in Peoria right now, and the Peoria regional. So again, the leader, you combo a Yellow U7, draw a card once per turn. Works really well with your cycles. Lets you build Z energy very fast. No Z battle cards. Awaken when you have 3 Z energy, or if you're at 4 life, that can happen sometimes. And then on this side, you can rest one of your Gokus, drop a Z, draw a card. Very useful with your 4-drop. You can burn your opponent. I burned one person today, I think, so it does still come up, it's just not as often. So, of course, we play the full package of the cycle, guys. So you've got 4 Piccolo, top 5 for U7, 4 cost or less. When you combo with it, when you Z charge it, if there's a U7 in your combo area, it doesn't have to be yellow, then you get to draw a card. So this one shares that effect, and it has the other effect of when this card is played, draw a card. Android 18 shares the same cycle effect, and then if your leader is this card, this Goku, you can discard a card, combo 2 5k Yellow U7s from your drop with their skills negated by getting rid of this from your Z energy. It goes removed from the game. Very good. It'll trigger your leader to draw a card. You can protect unisons with it. That hardly ever comes up, but it does sometimes. And it's just basically 4 more pseudo-ish combos. So, and then you've got 17, who is a counterplay. 7 or less comes into play rested if you have 6 or more Z energy. So, pretty good. 4 of each is just the right number. There were many times today where I was actually running out of U7s, and so I would not cut these numbers down at all. Beyond that, the Goku lineup, I'm still going with the 4 red head and 1 blue head. Blue is very good against things like Majin Buu Unison. He's good against threats that you can't really get off the board. A lot of green Goku cards have, when this card is removed from the battle area, do something horrible to your opponent. So you can just hold it down for an entire turn cycle, and that is good enough until you can negate its skills and then remove it. The Goku is still a fundamentally broken card. You can't interact with the fact that he kills one of your cards, and they're both deadly defenders. So you always want to see in your opening hand one of the 1-drops and one of the Gokus. That's the best way that you can go with the deck. Super combo is the red one, the red U7, the backbone. There's really not much else in the super combo department that you would play other than this. You could substitute one of these for the Kefla super combo if you expect a lot of Yellow U7. The Kefla at the end of the battle bottom decks a rest mode card, and so you can bottom deck their 6-drop. And that's a good way to get around Purunga plus Annihilator plus 6-drop if the game has gone that long. So that's a cute tech that you can do. Otherwise, just play 4 of this super combo. It's the best one because it does not proc your leader, but it does proc all of your cycles. So you'll combo with a super combo, draw a card. Combo with one of your cycle guys, your leader will draw a card. Then you Z-charge the cycle guy, and because you have a U7 in your combo area still, he'll draw a card. So you actually net 1 card off of this. You cycle, draw. So that's why you want to play this super combo over something like Krillin or, God, I don't know. The
Zamasu or
sure.
Lord Slug.
Lord Slug. Wings, right?
Wings, yeah.
Wings, yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah. So for Vegeta, I've seen a lot of lists going to 3 on this one. I don't really think that's correct because this, at the end of the day, is a 1-mana 20k dual attack, which is very important because people are aware of how this deck works. They know what you're going to try to do. You're going to try to kill them with a 6-drop. And so there's a lot of tech options for that. You've got Zeno into the 6-drop Gotenks. You've got Keflas. There's a whole variety of ways that are trying to punish you for when you go in and try to win the game. And Vegeta helps you sort of stretch that turnout into a bunch of different plays instead of putting all your eggs into a single basket, which is very nice. Somebody like Z-charged this with an Oob earlier today, which triggers its skills, which is funny.
Hilariously.
Yep. Yeah, it's just when it's added to your Z energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison, switch it to rest mode. So if you oob this, I get to rest your oob, which works great for me. We've got 4 of the 4-drop. This is one of the better cards in the deck. They're all very good cards, but this is definitely one of the better ones. You pay 1, draw a card, play it. If you have 3 energy and 3 more Z energy, and then auto when it's played, you target one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier for some reason, and switch it to rest mode. Then when it's switched to rest mode by your leader, they put up to 1 card from their hand in their life, and then you choose up to 1 card from their life and put it in their Z energy. Some cute things you can do with this card, you can actually heal your opponent. So if your opponent is, let's say, an Android 21, and they awaken at 4 life, you can put them back to 6, so their leader can't take the life down to 4, they go to 5. And now that the 2-drop is gone, they're just completely locked out of being able to awaken. And so you can heal them with this. It's one of the funnier things to do. In most matchups, what you're going to do is just hand destruction with this. Your opponent discards a card, essentially. It goes to their Z energy, but that's okay. It's a crazy card. You can use it to cycle. I played against a green Goku today where I had like 2 of them on the board, so I was attacking with it.
And it draws on play.
It draws on play, yeah. Like, it has blocker on it.
Never do it.
Never do it. Never. I attack with it. It's also a 20k attacker for 1. Of course, for the 6-drop. This card is incredible. It's one of your win conditions. The turn you play it, you can drop 3Z to switch it to active mode, not once per turn. So, you know, I've attacked 6, 7, 8, 9 times with this card if necessary. Not a lot interacts with it, but the things that do are very detrimental. Like I said, there's the Kefla that bottom decks it. There's the Gotenks that bottom decks it. There's the 8-drop Gohan that bottom decks it. Most of the things that interact with it are blue. In yellow, we either time magic it to hold it down, or we negate its skills with Omen of Victory. So this is not the only win condition in the deck, and it's very important when you're playing this deck to recognize when this card is not the win con, but is just a play for that turn. And so you can play this card not intending to win the game that turn. Play it as removal, and then try to bait out some of their answers to it so that your later versions can win you the game. You have 4 of it. You don't have to win with the first one. That's it for the U7s. Now we go into the more interesting stuff, the non-U7s. That's where the spice of the deck, I suppose you could say, lies. Last time I was playing 2 Annihilator, I cut down to 1 Annihilator, and then I didn't draw this guy all day except in the finals. So he was mad at me for cutting him down to 2. Or cutting him down to 1. I still think 1 is probably correct, but there are plenty of places where you can make room for a second one. He's very good into green because a lot of their floodgates, they try to leave up like an energy marker, for example, and then they can either free play the floodgate or they can use the energy marker for it. They can't rest the energy marker. So this guy just locks them out of that completely. So he's very good into green. Into blue, he's good at just making Sensu Bean not give them energy, which is what I used him for in the finals against Dane. He's playing Vegeta, and I just played this card just to turn Bean off, essentially. And it made his D-Magic cost him 2 energy, which is perfectly fine with me. Then 2 Steadfast. So this is a change from last time. The main point of this is it's for Tapion. I tried to make the deck better into Tapion. Their boss monsters don't have Deflect, so you can use this to rest their 8-drop. It doesn't hold it down, and you side Mutaito to hold it down if you need to. But just they spend 2 energy, you spend 1, rest it, draw a card. That's a great exchange because their 8-drop doesn't draw a card, doesn't remove anything on play. It has to actually attack to get value. So if they don't have Beast Gohan to switch it to active mode, it's kind of just locked for a turn, and then you answer it. So Steadfast is very good there. It's good in the mirror match too. When they play their 4-drop, the 4-drop doesn't have Deflect, so you can just do this to rest it. Draws a card. It's a Goku. Your leader can actually rest it to draw a card, which is very nice as well. It has a lot of utility. It gets sided out against things like green, but that's okay. It was there for Tapion. Didn't play against any today. Duo. I wanted to make this deck a little bit more aggressive so that I wasn't relying very heavily on the 6-drop. So I've got Duo here. This card came in clutch. Top decked it the turn I needed to top deck it to clear the Gogeta Secret Rare in the finals, which was fantastic. And I also used it to clear the Android 21 Secret Rare as well. The negate the skills, then kill it is so crazy on this card. A lot of times this is just a -1. You play it, it doesn't draw you any cards, and then something generally stops it. But it works for removal, and that extra removal is very important. 2 Sin Shenron. I actually got to play it today. It was very good because I played a bunch of Gogetas today. Sin is a fantastic card into red and into Gogeta, and he's okay into some other matchups, but he's kind of really bad into green because they don't care all that much. Barrier is very easy for them to remove. But when you play against a bunch of Gogetas, this is like the MVP. You leave 2 energy up, they pay 4 for an 8-drop. You Sin, negate its skills. Their leader can bottom deck your Sin, but because their thing doesn't have Aegis right now, they can't use the leader to untap energy. Then on your turn, you can negate its skills again with Omen of a comeback or Omen of victory, or the draft box or expansion box, whatever it's called, the 20x Kamehameha, I think. We'll talk about it when I get to the Z deck. There are a lot of ways you can interact with that card, again, to remove the Aegis from it so they don't get any energy back. And so you can just win the game by locking them out if they do that. Gogeta players have adapted, and they know if you have 2 energy up, they're not playing an 8-drop. But if they do, Sin is very strong into that. 4 Majin Vegetas. Still one of the best cards in the deck. 1 mana, 25k, double strike, draw a card, kill something. It's wild. This card has way too much text, way too many good words. The fact that it stays in rest mode means nothing. If you play against the mirror match, for example, when they use their Bardock, you can just sack off the Majin Vegetas, so it nullifies the Bardock against yellow, which is nice. Android 21 gets free energy out of it, but to be fair, you're going wide enough against Android 21 that they have too many options for energy. So he doesn't really affect that match as much. And they also play tokens now, which is, again, it nullifies the value that they get off of this card. So just a very good card. Bad into Cooler Mill, side it out if you go against Cooler Mill. Otherwise, very good. Overrealm of choice for the deck is Secret ID. It's just removal. Just make sure you play this after you play your 6-drop. Not after, before you play your 6-drop, because your 6-drop locks you. I made that mistake today. I played the 6-drop, then I went to play Purunga, and can't do that. Can't do that. So, which would actually ended up being great, because I think I probably would have lost if I had played the Purunga that turn. So, yay rules. Then we've got a 1 of 8 cost Majin Buu. This is for Ivo. Ivo was here today. I assumed Ivo would be on hatch, so I wanted an 8-drop that can attack. It's a 1 mana double strike. It's hard for Tapion to interact with this as well. This requires them to use 3 energy and remove it, activate battle. Their defense isn't actually that high, so this card can kind of just steal games in that matchup. Just being a 1 mana double strike. None of the words on this card matter. 1 mana, if you have 4 or more energy, play it, double strike. That's it. It gets sided out in a few matchups, but it's good. I didn't play it today, but in testing, it's not a bad card. It's not bad at all. Then the counters, other than the Steadfast. You have only 2 Heritage of a Legend. As I said in the last video, this card underperforms very, very badly. It's not good. I used it 0 times today. I don't know that I will even continue to use this card. If I was playing the aggro version, I would use this as a 1 mana 20k. This card just doesn't really stop a lot from your opponent. But the other card, the thing I replaced the other 2 with, actually performed pretty well today. And that was the Overwhelming Might Vegeta. Thank you, Pac-Man, for the alt arts. So, why is this card in the deck? It's because of Purunga. If you don't have Sin to negate the skills of the Purunga when it comes in, you can do Overwhelming Might, and then they're not going to be able to kill you with the 6-drop line as a result of that. They can T-blow this, but then they're not going to either be able... that either locks them out of Annihilator, the Energy Annihilator, if they're on 6 energy, because T-blow costs an energy. Or you can lock them out if they're on 4 energy. You can lock them out. So 2 for Purunga, 1 for 6-drop, then 1 for T-blow. You lock them out of being able to use Hunt. And now your time magic can actually stop the 6-drop. So what this card does in the matchup is it just says, I don't care if you answer this or not. This gives me an opportunity not to lose to Purunga. So That was the idea with it. I played against Green Goku and he Haru'd me, and so I responded with this, and that also kind of just ended the turn, which was nice. It's a blocker, which is cool, I guess. And it's always live. I didn't like this card in previous metas, but in this one, he's actually pretty good. Then for the extra cards, we are still, of course, on 2 Assimilates. Still a 60-card deck. I don't want to be milled out. I get very close. Mini games, I think I had 5 cards left in deck against Carrick in the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
So those extra 4 cards matter a lot. There, I would have 1 card left, and then he would just draw pass, and I would lose. So Assimilate's very good. It also means that I have a higher chance of opening with a 1-drop than if I was playing 56 without it. And you really need to open that 1-drop. Games where you don't have the 1-drop are a lot different than the ones that you do. 3-time magic. I don't need to explain it. Card's really good, especially in a format with a bunch of dual attackers and dual attack, triple strike, 8-drop Gokus and Tapions and all this crud. Very good card. Very good in the mirror match too. And then Hunt of the Demon God. Again, this is the OTK build, so your basic cards for your OTK build are your 6-drop Annihilator, Porunga, and Hunt. Starting from when you have 4 energy, you have the opportunity to win the game at any point, depending on what your opponent does. If they mess up into a line where you can just close the game out, like if they only leave up their energy marker, you can drop these 2 on 4 energy. If they only leave up energy and not an energy marker, you can drop these 3 on turn 4 and completely lock them out of the game. And of course, turn 6, you have these guys. And when you get into turn 5, there are more combinations. You can actually now use these. A whole bunch of really interesting interactions. This is the heart and soul of the OTK build. Don't charge this card. You know, draw this card, draw this card. So that is the main deck. Now we can go into the Z deck. All right, so for the Z deck, we of course have an energy marker. I think I won the dice roll the entire day, so I never got to use this card. You actually want to go second a lot with this deck because they can use the energy marker as a way to stay alive against you because Porunga can't rest it. So if you play against blue, you really want to go second in that matchup. I played against a bunch of blue today, and unfortunately, I did not lose that dice roll. Need to roll snake eyes.
But did it matter?
It did not. It did not.
We take that.
We do. All right, so we've got 2 Omen of Comeback. This card's pretty cool. It also negates a skill. So when you play the 6-drop, you put 2 of your life in your Z energy. Give the 6-drop plus 10. Remove this card from the game and choose one of your opponent's battle cards and negate its skills. So I use this to negate the skills of the indestructible 4-drop Android 21 combo, which was nice. I used this to negate some Goku skills so it didn't get value in a green Goku matchup. The negate effect is very good. It's one way that you can answer the secret rare in Gogeta, the Gogeta 8-drop secret rare. If you don't have duo, you can, if this is on the board or if you play it that turn. So it's 2 energy if this is on the board, 3 energy if it's not. You play your 6-drop. So you use your leader, you rest your leader to rest their thing. Play your 6-drop, draw, or not draw, but crack this card, negate the skills of their secret rare, then pay 1 for the redhead Goku and kill their secret rare. So your deck actually does have built-in removal for that card, which is why it's one of your better matchups. 1 Omen of Victory because Bandai said I can't play more. It really hurts that this card is at 1 and it has nothing to do with the burn effect. Nothing whatsoever. It is the limit 1 effect. The activate battle, it rips the skill off of a card if you have 6 or more Z energy. That comes up way more often than burning your opponent. And it makes the mirror match a lot different as a result of this card being at 1. If you can force your opponent in the mirror match to burn this early, then you have a very good chance of winning the game. And Jay is smiling now.
And crying.
And
crying.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. We've got 2 Goku's Kamehameha because you have space. You can always do the cute combo, the 35k double strike crit on turn 2 if you go second. But I didn't do that. I didn't play this card once today. It's cool though. It also buffs your leader or buffs random Goku cards sometimes. If you play against red and a King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, you can play this card to give your 6-drop 5k more. So you can push 1 extra attack through, which is pretty relevant. One of the 20x Kaioken Kamehameha. This is for Cooler. Not Cooler the deck, Cooler the secret rare, the golden Cooler. So they'll play it and they drop you to, I think, like 6 cards in hand, and everything else goes to Z. And then they attack with it. And after that, they can drop 2 of your Z energy to switch it to active mode and just keep doing that to you. The thing is, though, it has to be in rest mode to do that. So it has to attack, and you just hit it with this, negate its skills, and they can't take your Z from you. Then you just win next turn with the 6-drop because they probably tapped out for it. So that's what this is for. If you suspect your opponent is playing the Cooler, Golden Cooler Secret Rare, you want to put this on your board before they get to the energy requirement. Then the 2 Unisons, 2 of the Turles Crusher Core and 2 of the Goku. I actually got to use these today, which was great. Against the green Goku deck, I could not find a threat to save my life. So I swung in, he floodgated me, so I paid 4 for the Goku, wiped his board, and then swung in for 35k double strike. Because it actually -3 gives itself +10 and double, and then I comboed 2 cards. So it does have cool effects. The auto, when your opponent attacks with a battle card, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, negate the skills for the battle. I ripped Quad Strike off of the Vegeta secret rare, the red one, today with that. So very good card. People are still kind of learning about this card, so playing around the auto doesn't happen as much at the moment. Turles, this has so many words on it, none of them matter. It's a 1 mana ±0, game +10. So it's a 1 mana 15k unison, which extends. It extends, it's a unison to get through certain floodgates. Certain decks like Android 21 can't remove it. And so swing and attack with it.
Another attacker against Hatch.
Another attacker against Hatch, absolutely. So that's the Z deck. You have a lot of room. The mandatory cards in the Z deck are these 6. The other 4 that you include are kind of up to you, honestly. So, except this. You can't have more of this.
We could, if Daddy Bandai would just stop playing with our hearts.
I do wish that John Bandai would be nice enough to let me have that back. But unfortunately, I think the next time a ban list comes out, the 6-drop will not go unscathed.
That was a mistake the first time.
It sure was. All right. Now on to the side deck. A lot of these things are the same as last time. 2 Mutaito, Mutaito for green, Mutaito for Tapion, Mutaito for Gogeta, Mutaito for the mirror match. Very good card. If your opponent plays boss monsters that do not kill on impact, you use Mutaito on them. 3 Gohan, because it's really irritating when your opponent discards your hand. This card is very good into something like Android 21, because one of the ways that they can win is with the 7-drop Cell, the perfect force one. And if they pay 7 energy and you discard 3 of these and go back to 6, you probably win that game, honestly. So it's very good there. If they floodgate you with the Android 21, you can discard these and play them and draw cards unless you played the 6-drop, which I forgot earlier, discarded it, couldn't play it, so completely wasted it, but that happens sometimes. Let's see here. You've got 2 Koitsukai. This is for Hatch and for Tapion. I didn't cite it in today. 2 Trunks Altering the Future for Ivo. Hatch, sure, but for Ivo. Again, Ivo is here. Ivo ended up playing 21, so I kind of wasted 2 spots in my side deck, but regardless. It's good against Cooler Mill and Hatch. Those are the 2 main reasons you use this card. You don't really cite it in other things. I didn't use it today. Demigra, the Heavenly Wizard guy, he clears a 30k or more card, ignoring barrier if your opponent has 3 or less energy. He's just here for Vegeta Xeno. You clear their barrier blocker guy, which is nice. Your leader can rest it, so they're never getting value off of the unison. and then you clear it with this, and you have your 6-drop to clear them as well later on. This is very good for when they go first and they aggress you really hard on turn 2. Then the one-ofs, Begrudging for Oceanus. Any deck that you think is going to play Oceanus, you use Begrudging for it. T-Blow for the mirror match for red, for anything that has a low to the ground floodgate. 1 Nimbus, mostly for if you go against Jiren and you kind of cross your fingers that you don't go against Jiren, because this is the only true hard floodgate in the deck. You could play 2 and mess with some of these ratios, but again, I kind of knew the field was likely to be Hatch, and so I sort of picked the deck around that and Tapion and kind of ignored Jiren, because Jiren loses into a lot of things at the moment. I didn't play against any Jirens. And then the final card is, of course, the 6-drop Broly. I've seen speculation as to why this is in here. It is not in here because of Explosive Dance. It is not in here because of any reason, except that this is my favorite card. I love this card, and I will always have it in my deck somewhere, unless the leader strictly forbids me from having it. And then I'll use a Broly of that color. So that's it. I basically side 14 cards.
Broken. Nerfs himself on purpose.
Not quite.
Any shout-outs?
Yeah.
Let's go through your matchups first.
Let's go through my matchups. Okay, so round 1, I played against Blue Gogeta. It was pretty straightforward. Yellow U7 is a very good match into Blue Gogeta, especially because of the interaction with Sin. And so your opponent is often on the back foot in that matchup because they can't really play on curve. They can't really establish their main win condition, which is a triple striker. And so it just doesn't go very well for them typically. Round 2, I played against Red Gohanks, which also has a pretty hard matchup into U7. They can Violent Raise to shut you out of a turn, but if you see Porunga, you hold it down. Now, to my opponent's credit, he was side decking the craziest card for Porunga, the Gotenks 2-cost Unison, that looks at your opponent's hand and discards either a 10k power or less, or a multicolor. He discarded my Porunga, which was crazy. I still ended up winning the game because his hand was very defensive, but man, I did not see that one coming. Round 3, I played against...
It was me. You played against me.
Jay.
Yeah.
It was Jay. Yeah, mirror match against the man holding the camera right now. It was pretty close, honestly, but I forced him to use his Kamehameha early, which allowed me to set up, and then the turn I played Porunga, he did not have the Vegeta. So, which would have been fine because I had to play around for it, but I didn't need to play around, so we just tapped that 2 energy. And then I used Porunga to clear his board of like 9 cards or something crazy, left him with a Majin Vegeta. Then round 4, I played against Green Goku. I killed his Unison twice, and the third one we didn't need to kill. So I ended up just winning that game. It's not really favored for the green deck. Green struggles right now into a lot of the meta, unfortunately for it. Then round 5, I played against Carrick, Legends, and he's playing Android 21. It was back and forth. It was close. It ended up ending in time. But I was at 5 life. He was at 2. It was a very close game, though. Let's see here. Round 6, I played against Dane, who was also on Yellow Gogeta. And for some reason, my deck decided to just work perfectly in that matchup. I saw all 4 super combos, duo on curve for his secret rare. My Sin, when it got bottom decked, drew another Sin. So the deck just went off on that one. So yeah, those were the matchups for the day. So shout outs. Let's see.
Yeah, shout outs.
Yeah, shout
Big
outs.
God.
Shout outs to the Team Hermit Style. Come join the Discord, talk in there. I sometimes talk in the main chat.
But don't be a weirdo.
Don't be a weirdo. Yeah, please don't be a weirdo. I will call you out if you're being a weirdo. Unless you're in the team chat.
Be weirdo.
It gets pretty weird in the team chat, to be completely honest. Shout outs to everybody I played today. It was a really fun event. It's always great to come on these things. Shout outs to the man holding the camera, Jay. It's been a really enjoyable weekend with you, man.
Likewise.
Yeah, that's all I got.
It was good. All right. Well, congratulations on once again being the Thanos of Dragon Ball. And he's going to win North Carolina too, so don't even bother showing up. Okay. See you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.